Washington says it will use any means necessary to defend itself after the most powerful North Korean nuclear test to date. The White House says that it could potentially include using its own nuclear capabilities.
President Trump reaffirmed the commitment of the United States to defending our homeland, territories and allies, using the full range of diplomatic, conventional and nuclear capabilities at our disposal.
We have many military options, and the President wanted to be briefed on each one of them. Any threat to the United States or its territories, including Guam, or our allies, will be met with a massive military response, a response both effective and overwhelming.
So it's actually kind of an unexpected and drastic change in tone coming from Mattis there, who's really starting to sound more like Trump. Now, he did add that America is not seeking the annihilation of North Korea, but it's highly unlikely that those comments will be of any comfort to anyone in North Korea, given how quickly his stance changed from there's always the possibility of a diplomatic solution to we don't want to kill you, but we certainly can if need be. Now, these statements are made even more ominous given comments made by President Trump before he met with Mattis and the other generals.
Mr. President, will you attack North Korea?
Earlier on Sunday, Trump did tweet that all options are being considered when it comes to North Korea, but it is clear that the military option seems to be becoming the favorite for the Trump administration. Meanwhile, we have China and Russia urging all sides to show restraint, but it seems that Team Trump is going to stick with the aggressive rhetoric that we've seen from the president as of late.
They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen. North Korea better get their act together, or they're going to be in trouble like few nations ever have been in trouble in this world. Okay? And this man will not get away with what he's doing, believe me.
And this has really already escalated past just a war of words. We've already seen America bolster their military presence in the region and continue to conduct drills with South Korea, much to the displeasure of their northern neighbors. And Trump has gotten a fair amount of backlash for some of his aggressive comments, both here at home and abroad. But the U.S. State Department, for their part, has defended his comments, saying that it's simply the only way to communicate with the North Korean leader.
He exacerbating
the president spoke to him, to Kim Jong-un, in a language that Secretary Tillerson has said this morning, in the kind of language that Kim Jong-un will understand.
But clearly, America really has no plans of changing their tactics. But despite the fact that all of their aggressive rhetoric and saying that talking will not work and attacking North Korea has only led to further threats from North Korea and more missile tests. But Washington seems unwilling to change their plan of action, pushing the whole world closer to the edge of war.
Jacqueline Vuga reporting there. Well, since Pyongyang's nuclear test, South Korea conducted a snap military drill in response. Seoul says it simulated a strike on the North's nuclear testing site, and missiles were fired from the ground and also fired from fighter planes, and they reportedly hit their intended targets in the Sea of Japan. Well, in another development there, South Korea's Environment Ministry has now approved the deployment of the American-made THAAD missile defence system. It was partly delivered back in March, but it later turned out that the necessary environmental checks were not carried out and the deployment was delayed. However, it seems to have been accelerated now concerning a number of countries in the region. China, for instance, has said that it does fall within the range of the system. We got expert opinion on the tension on the Korean Peninsula.
I think the Trump administration is painting itself into a corner. So, for instance, Trump recently tweeted that talks are not the answer. And so that just leaves the option of threatening North Korea, which only encourages North Korea to accelerate its nuclear weapons program, which in turn encourages the Trump administration to up the ante on its threats. So it's a very dangerous moment. Korean Central News Agency just recently came out with a statement saying that they're not willing to give up their nuclear weapons program unless the United States drops its hostile policy. So there's a definite opening for a diplomatic move if the United States wanted to take that.
This is a full-scale diplomatic crisis, and I think our president has not really framed this issue as such. I think this is in some ways a war of words. We know he's very fond of Twitter. and saying provocative things. Our president and our government is not devoting the resources, the political will that are needed to find a solution to this problem. We need to amp up the resources at the State Department. Warm bodies, people who understand North Korea, the culture, the language, get them working on this issue.